Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, it's Dave here, and this is my wife, Kathy.
Hello.
And this is The Cinemile. It's the podcast where we walk home from the movies, but right now we're sitting on our couch because that's where we want to be watching The Traitors Ireland.
We've been so excited about the Traitors Ireland coming. We are big fans of the US and UK Traitors and have reviewed them over on our Patreon. But we thought, you know what, Traitors Ireland is too big a deal. We asked on Instagram. People said they want to hear us talk about it. So every week we're going to do a roundup after the episodes have aired on a Sunday, Monday and Tuesday of the week that has been in Traitors. Dave, how are you feeling about this show 3 episodes in?
As you know, Kathy, I am 100% faithful to you. No, and I included that in our wedding vows.
Of course, yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. And
Because
I'm 100% faithful
in
to
Kathy's
Traitors.
wedding vows, she accused me of being a traitor. And then I came back and said, I am and have always been 100% faithful to you.
And we were a bit worried about this because we're such fans of the other formats, which are wildly different, right? So for anyone who's not familiar with the UK show, it's just like normal people, everyday people like the Irish one. And the US one is celebrities, predominantly from reality TV, who are wild. They bring like full housewives energy, crazy. Like the last season of the US one, the Traitors were ripping each other's throats out. It was like some of the best TV we've ever seen. We were screaming at those round tables, weren't we?
Yeah, I would say I find the difference between watching those two shows are the British contestants, and I think the same with the Irish. You instantly like them. They're likable people. They're very down to earth. Whereas the Americans, you instantly hate them.
Yeah, exactly.
You hate them all. They all seem like horrible, fake, vacuous people, and you think these are awful people. I don't want to watch them. But that's not quite fair. You get to know them
exactly.
over time. But the Americans are, as you said, way more entertaining at it because they are so cutthroat and ruthless.
Yeah.
But the other thing that's interesting to me, and we're already seeing it now after 3 episodes of the Irish one, the Americans will rip each other apart at the round table. They'll rip each other apart in the clock tower. They are vicious. And then as soon as it's all over, they're like, hey, that was great fun. I'll see you next week. And they're all pals. Like
because they're reality TV professionals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They can switch it off.
Yeah.
Whereas the Brits and the Irish are getting very heated and emotional, and you can see they're kind of carrying this baggage and
it's because they're not TV stars,
resentment around with them as well,
and that's
it's
why
very personal to them.
I think when we first meet the Americans, we were like, whoa, because they're all putting on a show, because they actually are all putting on a show, and then we really got to like them as we followed the series. So the British and the Irish is kind of opposite in that they all start quite meek and then the personalities start coming out. The kind of big difference I think between the English and Irish is I think Siobhan McSweeney's amazing, and I think she's more in that kind of Alan Cummings like theatrical side of hosting, which I love to see.
Yeah, Claudia's more downbeat and cool. Yeah, and just like she's very chill and it's Siobhan's a different style.
Yeah,
Siobhan McSweeney is great.
Amazing.
In this. That's great casting.
Yeah,
and we should say there's always a little bit of raised eyebrows and concerns and question marks whenever anything gets adapted to Ireland. I mean, historically they tend to not look as good as the other. The budgets aren't here. We don't have the same levels of funding, etc. But I gotta say they've adapted this really well. I think it's quite Productions or somebody has done this. It's a really good port of the format. It's got all the same beats. Slane Castle is where it's set this time.
Looks
It looks great,
gorgeous, yeah.
which is because the British and US one are both filmed in the same place. So this, but I think they've really retained the look and the feel
really
of it.
have.
The way they've kitted out Slane Castle, it's got the vibe. Siobhan McSweeney's great.
Yeah.
The casting is really good. We'll get into
The
it.
casting
but I
is
think,
so
I
good.
think they're great.
The only thing I miss about the American one is I love in the American one when they show up dressed like to the nines for the round table. And in the Irish one, they're just like in hoodies and stuff. And I miss the drama of like, I like the costumery of the American one a bit. So I think I'd love the contestants just showed up with a bit more game to the round table.
That's true.
But I know by the end they'll probably get there. But like, they're kind of all just about sit around like a family dinner or something, you know. Now, like by the second round table, I think they were sitting up a bit straighter and they were all a bit like more like nervous. And finally, the only kind of other difference that we both love to see is, of course, the use of the Irish language here. Delighted to see that. There's loads of cúpla focal Gaeilge in there. Delighted to hear it integrated into one of the challenges. So they're kind of our upfront like takes after 3 episodes, and now we're gonna get in to the episodes.
Yeah, and full spoilers here. So if you haven't watched it, we do highly recommend it. Go watch it on RTE.
Yeah. RTE1 9:30 every Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday for the next couple of weeks.
We're watching it live.
Yeah, and we don't watch.
We don't watch anything live,
Yeah.
and it's just like being transported back in time to 20 years ago when you have to like wait for the ad break to go out and make your cup of tea.
It's fun actually because we always watch the UK one like back, you know, we don't watch it like live. So yeah, this is great fun and way past our bedtime now. We've just turned off episode 3 to record this.
Yeah.
Episode 1, loads happened, didn't it? Straight into it.
So straight away, I thought this was brutal. They line them all up, they get to the castle, and then Siobhan says, "Who's the most trustworthy among you?" Which is stupid. None of them have ever met each other before.
Yeah, I like this though because in the UK one, right, they like all arrive by train and they actually all spend a bit of time together. And here they're just like landed in, and this. They do a shake up. They have done a shake up in the other versions where you lose people very quickly at the beginning, and they're going to come back.
Familiar,
yeah. But we've not seen this exact thing, and it's very cruel. I'd be so upset if I went all the way to Slane Castle and just got the arse.
I know it's awful. So Andrew gets selected as the most trustworthy. He chooses David. Who was it? Sorry, help me out here. David, Gemma, and John.
He selects them to be the least trustworthy.
To be the least trustworthy.
While saying he knows it's based on nothing.
That's right. And then he has to pick 2 to send home, which is, I feel very bad for Andrew in this moment.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Lazy on everyone. I would just cry at this point.
It's really, and it sets I didn't like it. I don't think you're supposed to like it. It's pretty mean and awful. But I think the purpose of it is to give people something to talk about and something to mull over. Yeah. So Andrew kind of becomes a target. And
it just makes everyone unsettled. I think that's the purpose.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, just get everyone.
Don't get comfortable.
Yeah, don't get comfortable. And yeah, look how brutally people are murdered in here.
I know, right? And then we get the first challenge, which was, you know, me and Kathy are never that interested in the challenges. They're usually the ones bored. It always feels like just filler. Like it's just something to do. Now, often they do play out in the round table because the round table is the star of this show. Yeah.
I just want round tables, like nothing
exactly.
else.
And often something in the challenge will trigger someone like, oh, you weren't quite pulling your weight. I wonder why. Yeah. And I think so far in the 3 episodes we've had of the Irish one, this is one missed opportunity, I think. And maybe they will address this later, is that the UK and American ones will give the traitors conflicting tasks, right? Or they'll often give them an incentive to disrupt the challenge, which creates this conflict with them. Whereas all of the Irish challenges we've seen so far have all been just everyone's getting on great and they all just need to work together.
I think they will do it though because that was a change they brought in only last summer to the other version. So I think they'll do it because they have to be consequential because otherwise as viewers they are a bit dull. Like the barrel one, you know, I've no problem watching it, but like if we weren't watching it live and I was watching it back, I'd have probably fast forwarded most of the challenges. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They just don't interest me. But like they had a bit of an impact in the sense that like David, who was like the most gregarious, out there, shouty person on the challenge, ends up getting the arse. And this is like the number one lesson if you watch Traitors and you go on Traitors. Do not be the loudest person in the room, because you'll either get murdered or you'll get killed at the round table. Keep your mouth shut. Now, not too quiet either. Like it's a fine.
It's a fine balance, yeah. Which we
Yeah.
saw played out, and we'll get to it. Or a lot of the round tables. Anyone who hasn't thrown in a name or been who hasn't said anything is getting targeted, particularly by Eamon.
But on the first challenge, I'd have been like working really hard, but I'd have been keeping my mouth shut anyway.
You've got to stay in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to stay. You've got to contribute enough, but not too much. But
They had a busy first day though. They were straight in there to the challenge. Like,
let's get to the selection then. So the Traitors are selected at the round table. So they are Paddy, Caitlin, and Eamon.
and I think they actually did, like, I think that one of the hardest things about producing this show must be deciding who the Traitors
do you know what? I would love to sit in on that.
Yeah.
On that selection
Like, they
process.
make out like Siobhan picked them. Obviously, she doesn't. But, like, like, for example, Eamon is like, make me a traitor. Like, he's gunning for it.
He's kind of wants it too much.
He's
though.
great
a
TV.
He is great TV.
Yeah, I love him.
But he's frightening. Like there's this guard power play dynamic where he wants this too much, and he wants to, like, he's reveling in like murdering
But he's really,
people.
all three of them actually wanted to be traitors, didn't they? And there was a few
That's
others.
true,
Like
they did,
David
yeah.
had wanted to be the traitor as well. The
Yeah.
poor guy who got the arse. So like,
Many
I
of
think-
them did.
yeah, because a lot of people are like, I want to go in and play the game, you know, and like being a traitor is like the most fun. You'll get the most like gameplay. You'll have the crack. Now, I do think being a traitor though must be really tough, because like they film like really late into the evenings, and then everyone else goes back to their B&B or whatever, and then the three traitors have to like hang around.
Yeah, they got to do an extra probably 3 hours of
Yeah.
filming. Like we're seeing
You've
5
been
minutes
that-
of footage.
Like,
They're
I
in there
think,
for ages.
like, we love Paddy, right? And he's like the absolute star of the first 2 episodes. But I've actually genuinely felt after episode 3 there, I was like, do you know what? He's actually just tired.
He's probably knackered.
Yeah, he's just tired.
And he spent the day fucking going down a river there
Yeah.
in Ep3, falling over, and like even in the first episode there with the barrel challenge, he's like, you could see he was struggling. He said he's not a runner.
Legging it.
It is a little bit discriminatory, the level of fitness that's required for these.
I think the
challenges.
first and third episode, yeah, like
Yeah.
honestly, they're too physical for me. But
But
then
a lot
now
of
the
them
second,
do. The second one was mental.
Yeah.
A lot of them do get more mental.
Yeah.
So there is a bit of variety.
there is, but like you'd be so sore and tired after that, like basically obstacle course.
We should take a moment just to say, what if you were in this game? I'm sure our regular listeners would like to know. What would you like to be, a faithful or a traitor? I think you'd be a great traitor.
I think the Traitor's the only game in town. Like, what's
Really?
the point in being a faithful? Like, I just don't see why you'd go in there to be a faithful.
I would prefer to be a faithful. I see where you're coming from, but I'm not very good.
Yeah, but then if you're faithful, all you have to say all the time is, I'm 100% faithful. It's so boring.
No, I know it's
if
boring,
it's a
but
traitor, you're out there causing shit.
I would be more comfortable as a faithful. It's so stressful.
Oh,
to be a traitor.
I don't think,
and
by the way,
I wouldn't be a good traitor.
I don't want to
know
be
that
either,
about
like,
myself.
which is why I'm not
Yeah.
applying to be on the show. I just think if you're going to be there, go for being a traitor.
Anyway, neither of us are going on this show,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
let's
Though I
move on.
did want you to apply for it.
Yeah, well, I don't want to go on, and I'm not going to. It looks incredibly stressful. Plus, it's just sitting around. I'm incredibly sensitive, so I couldn't handle everybody pointing at me and saying,
Oh my
"Dave's a
god!
traitor."
If everyone came at me on the
But,
round table, I
yeah.
would bawl my
I
eyes out.
feel so bad for the people. You can see
Yeah.
them trying to hold it together.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
It's
able for
intense. It is an intense show.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ep 2 comes.
No, remember the big reveal of
Oh, sorry,
episode
yes.
one.
Oh, sorry, yes. So, Paddy and Andrew are father and son, which
was
is
so fun.
legit brilliant.
Yeah, it
I
was
did
such a
not
good
see that
twist,
coming.
yeah.
What a great twist.
Such a fun twist.
Do you believe that they legit didn't know that the other had applied for the show? Because that seemed like a stretch to me.
Oh, they definitely knew they applied.
But were they
They
saying
just
that they
didn't know
didn't know that they were
Yeah,
they were in it?
They definitely knew they applied.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, okay.
Yeah, because when they looked at each other, they were surprised, but they weren't like falling off the table shocked. Like
They
if I saw my dad in there, I'd be like, "What are you doing here?"
They seemed. I mean, it was. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
They obviously applied together for the crack, like, and
Um,
it's a good hook. Like I think for anyone entering a reality show, whether you're applying with a sibling, a parent, whatever, like having a hook will get you more likely to be cast.
Yeah, there were a couple of siblings on the season 3 of the UK one last year, but they declared themselves as siblings going in, 2 sisters.
That's so funny. I don't even remember that now.
You don't
watch
remember
these
them?
shows and they come and they go so fast.
Yeah. And
I love them
I
though.
won't say what
They're
happened.
from Cork, so we're biased obviously, but I just
They're
think
not from Cork. They're from Limerick.
I thought they were from Cork.
Andrew lied and said he was from Cork.
No, they lied and said they were from, but they're actually from Cork. But one of them lied and said he's from Limerick.
No, you've got it the other way around.
You've got it wrong.
No, you've got it. All right, write in, listeners.
Anyway,
Paddy's from Limerick. Andrew is from Limerick, and he said I'm from
I think they're from Cork.
And that was a lie, I believe.
They're great. They're so charming, the pair of them. They've already caused a hilarious amount of errors. Like,
they are a great crack.
We'll get to the errors, but like hilarious. Had so much fun. Can't believe how much they're fucking it up already.
It's like an extra level of complication that they have to deal with. That's of little benefit.
Think about it from Paddy. He's a triple issue going on here. He's like a regular player, he's a traitor, and he's got his son.
He's got his son.
Like,
he's got the lie with his son. And he's messing up a lot in Ep 3.
And he's in his 60s, and he's like probably tired. Like,
Yeah,
I would be.
And he's been forced to push barrels up a hill.
Can I say how tired I am after 3 nights in a row, staying up till 10:30 to watch this show? It's like,
we're not even in it.
Paddy's probably up in this bloody turret at midnight, like just going, fuck's sake, just murder someone.
Let Paddy sleep.
But they're great crack, and I was looking on their Instagrams earlier, and they're like having a bit of fun already with like the daddy thing and stuff. So like, I think that's my number one thing I meant to say about the Irish show was like, everyone's just having a good time.
Yeah.
Everyone's just funny. There's just like a very natural like vibe to the whole thing. Like, I feel like in the British one they'd be quite like buttoned up at the beginning, but the Ireland one they're just like straight into slagging each other and being sarcastic, and they're drinking tea, so much drinks.
There's
like
a
up
lovely
to tea.
way around. Yeah, particularly in this last episode, there was something similar. Like someone was doing tea orders. So like they literally were doing tea for the whole house. There was like 19 cup sets.
That always happens at like an Irish party.
Does anyone want tea? It's just like, no lads, if there's 22 people in a house,
it's like, who ordered 5 sugars and 2 milks again?
It's like, just do your own tea.
I love it. So yeah, I think we're having a lot of fun with all that. And then like the very first night when the 3 traitors come together, I always love the traitor reveal, and they're all like having the crack, and then they're like straight into the murdering, and Eamon was rubbing his hands together, like loving it.
Wait.
Yeah, couldn't wait. The thing about where I think they're making errors here is, I know they're trying to cause chaos and disruption, and they got rid of Dave because he'd done so well in the challenge, but like, to me, you should leave the big personalities in, because then on the round table it will save you. I
completely agree.
Like, keep David at the round table and let everyone attack him there.
They seem to think this is a genius idea. I don't understand Eamon's logic, and he did both nights, where look at all the chaos we're solving. We got rid of the most popular person, and it's sowing chaos. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Like, no matter who you're going to kill, they're all going to be like shocked the next morning and trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Chaos exists in the wake of the murder, regardless. Like, Kathy is dead right. You're dead right. Like David was such a big personality. He was gonna draw a load of heat.
The big personalities
flame at the round table.
And it's the only flaw of the Traitors format in general, I find, is, and this is literally the only flaw, big personalities go so early for various reasons. They either flame out because they're traitors who become too obvious, or they get ganged up on the round table, or sometimes the traitors take them out because they're the traitors think they're going to suss them out. So like, usually halfway through a season of Traitors, you've lost a lot of the like most interesting people, and then it can get a little bit more dull. But then on the flip side, it's sometimes quite cool, because as a series, the people who we're all talking about today, right? In 2 weeks' time, we probably won't be talking about any of them. There can be a new roster of traitors. For anyone who's not watched it before, the traitors, if a traitor gets exiled, another one takes their place. And the real quiet ones now, like, there's plenty of people in the cast we've essentially not heard from yet.
Yeah, they get no screen time.
They could be like the star by the end.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I like the fact that it gives the introverts a chance to shine towards the end, because they don't get, and it's hard to get any screen time very early.
Anyway. And also the people who are just smart enough to keep their heads down. But yeah, I don't really understand the chaotic strategy of killing people who are best at challenges, but like, it's still fun. So we ended episode 1 on the kind of 3 names out there who they're going to kill, which is kind of how you always end an episode, which is so good. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back to talk about episodes 2 and 3.
Right, so on to episode 2 of The Traitors. So they all come down to breakfast and blah, 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 come all in. And, of course, Dave is dead. And we get the line of my line of the whole series so far later from Linda at the round table when she goes, the fact of the situation is David is dead. It's in such an incredible reading, dramatic line reading.
It was so good.
And
she's a doctor
she
as
did
well.
it with so much sincerity.
So good. And the funny and that does remind me actually that one of the reasons, though I don't think this is why they did go to kill David, but David had thrown out there, if I murder tonight, it's because what was her name? The icon that sadly went too soon in episode
Nina?
2. No, the woman who looked down after they pulled the picture.
Oh, Diane.
Diane.
Sorry.
He
Yes,
goes,
yeah.
if I go tonight, it's all on Diane. So
he named 2 names. Now, to be fair, what David did was...
It was crazy, first of all. Why?
No, he just threw out his 2 guesses. He says, if I'm gone tomorrow, I want you to know the people I suspect are Diane and someone else,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
And I think it's a totally reasonable thing to do because everyone's talking about who they suspect.
It's a bit lousy though to kind of point the finger at them, as in if I die, take vengeance on these people.
This is the thing. Because he died, we're skipping to the round table, but we'll just get into it. Because he died in it too, it put so much emphasis on his words as if they were prophetic
from a deathbed.
I know, exactly, as if David knew his murderer.
He was there for one day.
He casually just says, I reckon it's probably Diane. I'm out. See you later. I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
And they're all like, he knew his killer.
And they're all guessing people all the time.
Exactly. So it's like there's nothing to any. But that is this show. This show is they're in a vacuum. They've nothing to work on, and they are all just going off vibes and looks. And we didn't talk about it in the first episode, but it plays out importantly in Ep 2 is the reactions everyone has when the blindfold is lifted after the traitors have been selected. Yeah. And I actually do think if I were in the show, that is a crucial moment to gather real evidence.
That's how one of the traitors in England got caught last year, because basically Linda, remember, straight away someone was like, I saw your face after the blindfolds came off, and she never recovered from that.
No, you can. Yeah. And already Poddy's been caught out because he went for a glass of water too quick and was looking straight ahead.
And Diane looked, and I was looking at Diane going, what is she doing? She was just staring at the ground.
I actually, there was nothing to it. But when you look at the footage, she looked so
she looked crazy,
shell-shocked and suspicious. So I probably think I would have jumped on it too.
Yeah.
But she said we watched her on the after show, The Traitors Uncloaked.
Which is really fun.
It is fun. And she said she was on that and she said, which I don't know why she didn't mount as a defense in the round table. She explained that she really had wanted to be a traitor and she was kind of dealing with the disappointment that she hadn't been selected and she was staring into the void. And I think she should have just said that.
But it comes back to them not being reality TV stars. So they're not they're disappointed. She sat in the disappointment instead of just moving on.
I know.
Whereas in the American one, we're watching at all times full theatrics, which is also why I really enjoy it. They'll get better as they go on, but in America you're watching people who've come out of Survivor and those kind of shows. They've been in these strategy game shows for weeks.
They're
a lot of
used
them
to
in
cameras.
Big Brother. She just genuinely was disappointed and didn't realize how strange she was looking, but I did love her.
But I think that's the real appeal. What I'm really enjoying with this and the casting of this is that it's got that season 1 of Big Brother 25 years ago charm to it, where really does just feel like real down to earth people that you can't get in Love Island or you can't get in.
I think what's really special about Traitors is always the cross generation. See it of someone in their very early 20s up to people potentially in their 70s, and they're all in a house. And it was interesting, I read a piece I think it was in the Journal, about the production company Kite Entertainment, and the owner of that company was saying we actually had to unlearn some of our own production techniques, because in this environment you actually just have to leave the action happen. They can't be interfering. So that's the drama just comes from, like, imagine you have 5 people sat on a couch drinking tea and they're like, so which one of you is a murderer? And they're all just looking at each other and they've nothing to go on. Like, one of the guys, the very tall guy who I can't remember, he says, like, Eamon after the first round table changed and he's different. And he's actually right. Yeah.
D8, yeah.
But he's
from D4.
But he's actually right. Well, I don't know if we know he's from D4.
Sorry, he's got a posh South Dublin accent. Apologies,
that's all
I don't know.
But basically, he goes, oh, Eamon was acting different afterwards. And it's kind of ridiculous when you think about it, because, like, you knew him for, like, an hour beforehand. But, like, again, that's all you have to go off.
But again, we know he's right. So suddenly, it's like... When we see people make theories that are right against the Traitors, we imbue those as an audience with, like,
we think
whoa, we so on the money, even though they didn't show you the 14 other theories they had about all the wrong people.
Yeah.
But to be fair to him, I think from what they showed to us, Eamon did seem to act quite differently.
He did act differently.
Clearly onto something.
Now, to clear this up though, Nick, 30, estate agent from Wicklow, Dave.
Oh, excuse me.
Is that from D4? So what you're picking up on is a South County Dublin accent.
Yes. Wicklow is South County Dublin.
But he is saying, though, Eamon acted different. And I also remember Eamon said he had come out and, like, tapped him on the shoulder and Eamon had, like, jumped, which is really fun as well. Yeah, Eamon is funny. Like the fourth Gleeson brother, like.
Yeah, he looks a lot like them.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. He's also giving me Wes from the US Traitors vibes. Possibly just
he had one of the greatest moments in that series. So let's get on to the challenge. So nice to see a bit of Gaelic mixed in here. I thought this was a really interesting challenge, like bringing in Ohm writing.
It's beautiful, yeah.
Although one of the contestants called it hieroglyphics, which drove me fucking bonkers.
I just thought this challenge...
Come on, lads, you're Irish.
This is what I love that they'd Ohm, right? I love that they've all the Gaelic stuff, the Celtic stuff. I love that they'd Irish. I just found it inherently dull to watch, though.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
It wasn't visual. So, like, I much prefer the ones, like, where they're all running through, like, doors and there's, like, clowns jumping at them or something, because I know they're less, like, interesting, but, like, to look at, like, I'll follow them. But I love the idea of the Ohm and the Gaeilge. And I love that your man, the Irish teacher, was like, you know, I'm invincible, and then oh mate, you're not invincible. But I like that they got all the money. I always like to see the kind of the shift in the group dynamics and they're all acting as a team together. It's quite nice as well. But again,
even though Niall was getting all the credit, like they were cheering Niall's name at the end, even though there were like several other Irish speakers there, including Diane.
But I think he took his head above.
Rallying people.
He was. I think he was the first to say, I do the Gaeilge, and he was the one kind of helping everyone and running around the place. But it would look. It was a tough challenge. Like I thought it was a tough challenge. But anyway, look. Didn't save him later, did it? But on to our first proper round table where they actually get to talk shit.
You got to talk about the quick little slip up between Andrew and when he called him Daddy. That's brilliant. That's so funny.
So he goes, Daddy. And they were saying on the after show, Traitors Uncloaked, the host was saying that it was like a little kid lost in Duns going, yeah. And
Daddy.
Then they actually, that's the thing I saw that they did on Instagram earlier, which made me laugh. He was like under a rack of clothes and he popped out and said Daddy.
Oh, that is funny.
It's like, what grown man calls his dad Daddy anyway?
Yeah.
And also like I would have then started calling everyone Daddy, because I'd have been like, to cover it up. Like, they're very sloppy. So, like, these are the sloppy things they've done. He's called him Daddy. They were being strategic at the beginning because they were like, sorry, what was your name again? And he said to his dad, oh, I'm telling people you look like the old man from Up. So, like, that was quite funny. But then he called him Daddy. Then your man Eamon comes over and goes, oh, who are we thinking for tonight? As in, like, in the fucking Traitors, like...
Yeah.
Like... tower.
Says it to Paddy,
and then we'll get to episode 3, but Paddy makes some right cock up. So, like, I think they're all like, lads, calm down a little bit. Like, you need to be discreet here.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Anyway, let's go to the round table for episode 2.
The round table being the literal best thing on TV.
This was a good one, I thought. So there was a lot of things going wrong. Firstly, we had a huge beef emerging between Nina and Patrick, which carries into episode 3.
I love this beef.
A reminder for who these people are, because we've got the names in front of us.
Nina's got pink hair. Patrick has no hair.
Yes, and Patrick is the former casino manager who comes across as some sort of Bond villain.
He's like, I spent my time catching liars.
I gotta say, like,
Is he in Las Vegas or something?
Yeah, I have to say when he came in like finger gunning in episode 3. Like he's
But I love their rivalry though. Like these are the characters we need, you know.
They're both like I found it really hard to warm to either of them.
Yeah.
As an audience member, and we must always remember that reality TV is edited and to hell.
Everyone presents differently.
Exactly.
And like some people just happen to come across adorable, like Poddy. And some people come across like they're very anxious or stressed or whatever. So we're never judging anyone.
No,
here.
of course not. However, it's clear that they're both rubbing each other up the wrong way and others.
So fun.
Which emerged here. So a lot of it we saw as an audience what happened in, you know, a lot of the action happens. I think that the oil of this show is the car trips between the challenges. Like that's almost why they need the challenges is to split everyone into groups so they can bitch about each other and spread gossip.
And to be fair to your man Pat, like she's throwing everyone's names out.
Oh yeah.
And like she is making the number one error, right? The round table begins and she's like, right, I'm gonna speak first. As soon as she did that, I was like, she's fucking
never
gone.
do that.
I was like, she's
you
gone
draw
today,
all the heat on yourself.
or she's gone tomorrow. Yeah. And then by the end of the round table, she's like, lads, we need to wrap these things up. Like, does anyone else they'd like to mention? It was like, girl, calm down. You have clearly never watched an episode of The Traitors before, because this is like the worst thing you could be doing.
She's also a financial director, so she's
probably
used to being in charge.
That being said, I love her hair, and actually, you know, I felt really bad for her by the end of episode 3, but episode 2 she played terribly. If you're playing it as a game, she played it terribly.
Very bad for Nina at the end, and I think she was just frustrated and threw her hands up in the air and was upset. So
I felt bad for her
like
too.
to see that.
But like she shouldn't have. She was carrying on too much, and then she goes to the kind of mumsy one. Goes, you never came to me, and then she goes, that's because you're not approachable.
Oh my god, like that's what it was like, and I think she regretted saying that later. She apologized, but it was an awful thing to say, and I felt bad for Michelle.
Baby's dad from Dirty Dancing. When I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong.
Yeah,
she was straight up there apologizing.
But her and Patrick, this is what's so great about this show. Like her and Patrick's interaction was they were both right.
Yeah.
Like in what they were in the
and both wrong.
They were both misremembering the
neither
conversation.
Of them were traitors.
Yeah. But those things have been turned into lies.
Yeah.
So it was something very innocuous. What was it? She said she's threw out a lot of names, and then she said, I even thought about you. I was suspected you earlier on. Then Patrick later says something like, you threw my name out there. And she goes, I've never thrown your name out there for anyone. And to anyone, who have I said that to you? And he says, you said it to me. And she says, I've never accused you. Wasn't that it?
No, it was the opposite.
It was the other way around, was it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
She said, I told you. And he said, no, you didn't. But it doesn't matter, because
whatever it was,
neither of them are traitors. And they sucked so much life out of the room of like just bringing heat on themselves.
And that's not over. Patrick's going to have heat on him now in ep 4 onwards. Because of all that nonsense.
It was very, very
misremembered conversations turned into lies.
And I love how he's making digs as well, because in episode 3 in the challenge we need to put different, like you could pick one or two. He's like, naturally we picked opposite sides.
Yes.
He's like, I will keep this feud going.
Love that. There was a huge slip up by Wilkin, who hadn't had much screen time.
We hadn't seen him until this moment.
No, but
love to see it. I really like him, actually.
He's very likable. He comes across very likable. What he says is, before it was announced or revealed that David had been killed, he says Dave was, and then corrects himself to Dave is, which seems clearly was just a mistake, because he didn't know that. But honestly, that was the one bit of evidence I was like, that's real evidence.
Oh, I'd say that's like a loaded gun. Like, I would be like, that was him.
And I'm amazed more people didn't jump on that.
It's
like
funny.
that's such a slip. That's the kind of thing that you'd catch a traitor slipping up.
Yeah, it is. But like, that's why the people who are carrying on and making so much noise, like Nina, like, why are you drawing that heat on yourself? So, but I think just from watching in the past, I think Wilkin's done very well to have been brought up in the first table, round table, and then to have diffused it, because what I've observed in the Traitors before, and again, it makes no sense, because there's never any proof until someone actually leaves of whether they're the traitor or not. But when someone's had a little bit of heat on them and it's been deflected, everyone forgets about them. Like, the steam falls out of it. Yeah. they're like, oh, well, it's not him because, you know, the same thing happens to Eamon in episode 3, I think. People go, oh, well, it's not him because we addressed him and he proved himself to be faithful. It's like, no, he didn't. It's just someone else was louder. But yeah, so I think I enjoy that, and I think he defended himself quite well. And he just seems very sweet-natured, so I think that goes in his favour as well.
Yes.
But also, truly, I'd never seen him before that moment.
But ultimately, they all gang up on Diane, which is
poor
very
Diane.
sad because she didn't. Now this is again like.
But Dave, the evidence.
The Wilkin thing was
dead.
right there. David is dead.
David said Diane killed me from the grave. Basically,
it's like that's so stupid that they jumped on that instead of Wilkin's Dave was comment, which is something tangible, even though it was wrong. But it was that's tangible, not. Diane, I'm sorry. I've put your name down. I'm really sorry, but you didn't mount enough of a defense.
She really didn't, though. She did such a bad job.
She didn't, but like that doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything.
It really doesn't. She was just like, well, I'm sorry.
And I love armchair analysing the Traitors because I would have been worse than her in that position.
Also, what's she supposed to defend? Now, she could have said, listen, lads, I was staring into the void because I was just so upset that my shoulder wasn't tapped.
Yeah, but then they'd be like, only a traitor would say that.
Exactly.
You can't
win.
Once they all gang up on you,
win.
you can't win. You take your medicine. And I think she was very, very good. She's like, I played a game, you know. Like when we saw her on Traitors Uncloaked, she was just like, she was just a lady about it. She came across really well. She's like,
classy.
I'm not speaking badly about anyone.
I know. And I felt bad for her. Though.
Yeah, I just always feel the most bad for the first person. Not necessarily the first person like murdered, even though I feel terrible for them because they don't even get one round table. But the first person banished, it must feel so personal. Where you're like everyone in this house, whereas usually like 3/4 of the way through, everyone will be like saying names and they're like, "Look, I'm sorry, I just have to say somebody."
Yeah.
But right at the beginning, it's like you 25 other people and you picked me, and it must feel
it's
awful.
hard. It
and
must.
I'd just be bawling like, yeah.
Now, one other thing we should say is that Mark spotted. His two people he threw out there were Eamon and Paddy, his suspicions, right?
Yeah, Mark's clever.
And he puts Paddy's name down, going completely against the grain, but going by his vibes based on the water. So he's onto something. Which leads us to the, I don't know what they're calling it, the dungeon, or they don't have a clock tower.
They don't have a name
Slane
for
Castles,
it, yeah.
or is it, they did say it was the catacombs or something, I don't know.
I know what they said.
They're down in the basement, and with the Traitors are, and Eamon goes, I have a plan. Now, Eamon is enjoying himself far too much here.
I like
and
that,
he's
though.
drunk on power.
I want to see the Traitors enjoying themselves, because if the Traitors aren't enjoying themselves, then how can we
No,
enjoy
it's fun,
ourselves?
but when he said, I have a plan, and smiled, and he said, let's kill Mark. And I'm like, oh, so your plan is just to kill somebody who's popular again? It's like, what is your plan?
No, but his plan was kind of clever, because Mark had said to Paddy, I think it's you, and then Paddy said, okay, so I'm going to murder you tonight. So he was like, it's a double bluff.
Oh, yeah,
because no one would ever suspect.
Oh, right. Like, that actually is a good plan.
Yeah, so that was like...
I actually think they should have gone with that, because Paddy then just has to mount the defense. Well, like, that's so obvious. Why would I do that?
Yeah, but that was kind of some of the stuff happening in the American one last time, where Boston Rob kept killing everyone, which was, by the way, thrilling. But then eventually it was like, everyone who says your name gets murdered. We don't think it's a double bluff anymore.
Well, there's only so many. You can do it one time, though, right? You know, they could have got away with one time.
Imagine they had Boston Rob and the Irish one. God, we could dream.
They decide to go for a different plan. Slán go fóill.
Oh my God.
Which was a pretty good line, I gotta say.
Slán go fóill.
Eamon is good TV.
Great
really
TV.
good TV.
So for anyone who doesn't speak Irish, basically the guy they kick off is the guy who helped them win the second challenge, who is an Irish language teacher who's fluent in Irish. And then Eamon says Slán go fóill, which is just like goodbye.
I know I said earlier that like it's not a good tactic to get rid of the big noisy people, but I kind of do admire the
Leroy-y.
The Leroy-y, the snakiness of the way they're just killing the most popular people. And then you can't have like, nice people.
The next day people were like, you're evil.
I know, yeah. It is funny. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to come back to talk about episode 3. Alright, so episode 3, this was a juicy one. So breakfast, they send Paddy and Andrew down together.
These two should not be left alone together.
No, they should.
So when Paddy was saying, oh, your one said your name, I was like, what is Paddy on about? But now I do think, per our conversation, I actually just think he was really tired. Because later on he goes, I genuinely fucked up. Like, I messed up. I didn't remember you'd said it in the turret.
No, I don't think that's what happened.
You don't think?
No, I don't.
What's he at then?
he's trying to warn his son that someone's out to get him so he can't. Firstly, he lies to his son because he has to. Like the traitors are not allowed to tell.
I think if you actually told someone you're a
the
traitor,
game would be broken.
Like you'd basically, they'd probably sue you. Like you're probably the most insane.
Yeah,
clause.
it would break the game. You can't do that, and they make a vow when they take the cloak or whatever bullshit, right? But so he can't tell his son. He lies to his son. But he's warning him that somebody's brought his name.
Yeah, but
right?
but that's fine, right? Warn your son if that's what he was doing then, which I'm still not sure about. But then the son shouldn't have been. He should have said,
this
like,
is the mad thing.
The son, like, he should be like, in the strictest of confidence, do not bring me into it. I want you to know that she has it in for you. I'm the only person who she said it to, so you cannot repeat it.
Yeah,
like it's such an unstrategic conversation.
Yeah, but look, he's casual. He like the Paddy's a very casual man,
and Paddy
Andrew
didn't realize
they're very chill.
He didn't realize that Andrew was going to literally grab her because they didn't get to talk. Because more
wild
people
move.
Crazy shit that these two are up to. I enjoyed it so much though because it became absolutely like.
Let's talk about
TV.
that. So then Andrew Andrew grabs Caitlin straight away in the corridor.
By the way, this is after they all screamed about how evil and like dastardly the traitors
get whatever. Niall's dead and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And
I felt bad for Niall too, though, because I think,
he seemed like a nice
being
guy.
the Gael Gore, you would feel protected if they're going to have Irish language challenges. Because Diane's gone as well, so like, who's going to translate the Irish for them? Hello.
It's going to be like nobody will want to shine in the tasks anymore.
I know, yeah.
Which the Irish Defence Forces guy should be careful because he was like,
no, they're not getting rid of him though. He's too good in the tasks.
So Andrew grabs Caitlin and he says, "Look, Paddy told me that your name, you were throwing my name out there." She's obviously put a like,
she's like,
when you're confronted. Which I was saying to Kathy, you were like, "Why is he doing that?" But it is actually a legit good tactic to confront people and put them on edge when you find out they say their name, because you can catch.
It's a good tactic unless you're
when
throwing
you throw
your
people
own
off balance.
Yeah, but unless you're throwing your own dad on
But then,
the bus.
but that makes it clear Andrew suspects Paddy. He out and out says it. He says it to the camera in the camera room. He says he thinks his dad it might be a traitor, and he's treating him like a contestant, and he's
I'm
right.
like, but why though? Because like, surely you wanted, like, I would have thought, no matter whether you thought your son or your father was a traitor or a faithful, you would just never put them in the line of fire because you want one of you walking out there with the money.
I know.
I don't understand.
It doesn't
that.
really make sense. He should be
No.
playing more. He should be playing the inside game with the family member he has.
Yeah.
Which he doesn't seem to be doing.
So anyway, but it's such good TV. I love that they're messing this up so much.
I mean, it's created the butterfly effect of Paddy telling Andrew that right up to it ran through the whole episode.
Yeah.
It was like and
you could just see Paddy was like, oh, for
fuck's
fuck's sake. The thing with Paddy as well, though, if you're going to tell your son you're faithful, you have to you can't tell him stuff that's said in the turret. Like, you need a line there. I genuinely think he forgot it was in the turret. I think he was that tired. He's what age? And he was probably up till 2 a.m. 3 nights in a row.
I think he got caught. He never expected Andrew to go out and make that information public. It was just for Andrew.
Yeah.
So he knew where it was said.
God, it's so good. It's like
he knew where it was said.
It's like in the Squid Game when we the mother and son. Like, it's thrilling.
Then he had to explain it because he can't tell Caitlin later why he told Andrew.
Yeah.
So that's why he has to make up that.
Oh, he forgot.
I forgot it was in. So he's making that up on the spot
so
for Caitlin's benefit.
It's so thrilling.
If you ask me.
Yeah, it's so thrilling to have a father and son in here.
Anyway, let's get to the challenge. So they did a gold bar challenge, daisy chains, whatever. We're not really interested in the challenges, let's face it.
Like, when I saw Paddy actually fall into the water, I was just like,
really
I
bad
just
for
think there should be an 8. Like, I don't know, like slippery rocks. And the thing is, like, was it him who said he had his hip replaced earlier?
He did, I
like,
think so, yeah.
Like, I've got a bad back and like I've fallen before and then I've like not been able to get out of bed for the day. Like, you can really hurt yourself. Now I know it's all like health and safety, but and frankly, it's just dull watching a lot of people.
Well, it kind of isn't. We just watched the Biggest Loser documentary on Netflix, and a woman was helicoptered out of there.
That's
when
true.
They forced
but
them
like,
to run a kilometre
they've got
on a
old.
beach.
I just don't see how it's interesting, frankly, to watch people in a river like throwing gold bars at each other.
I agree. I don't
But
care.
look, they have to do the challenge.
Although
I hope the challenges get more visual.
It did get a brilliant line though when it was like when Siobhan tells them all that each gold bar is worth €20. Then they cut to Faye and the cameraman was like, €20. You can't even buy an ice cream with that.
See, I thought she said you couldn't buy us all an ice cream with that.
No, that's not what she said.
Yeah.
I swear she said you can't even buy an ice cream.
Maybe
with
she
that.
buys like Dubai chocolate ice cream.
She was mad. It's
What
like
ice cream?
pint of milk. How much is a pint of milk? Question. How out of touch is Faye? If that is indeed.
And
what
then
she
of
said.
course the two
Write in, let us know.
Yeah, the two that were exiled in episode 1 show up, which we knew was going to happen. And this is where it was like in the US and UK one last summer, they had them, or last winter, sorry, they had them in, the people that got brought back were in cages. And
it was the exact same scenario.
It was the same scenario, but they were in cages, and as
you put coins
people
and
are voting, and the
whatever.
cages were lowering, and it was just very visual.
Yeah.
Whereas here we couldn't even see the gold bars that they were putting down.
This
Like,
is where the production sort of showed its it's.
give us some cages. That's all we asked.
It wasn't very visual. It was just like two people standing there while people give gold bars.
Yeah,
at
and
their feet.
then we felt so bad for the woman because she got kicked out again. This poor woman doesn't even know anyone.
And actually, I thought it was so. Is it Gemma was her name? I
Yeah.
thought that was really sad when she said. I just like her pitch. I think John seems like a nice guy as well. Obviously,
they
both seem nice.
lovely. Yeah,
To be fair, everyone in the show
Everyone's
seems
lovely.
nice. To be fair.
You feel like you'd hang out with anyone on the show.
Yeah, they all seem sound. But John's pitch was like, whatever. What did he say? Let me in. I want to come and hang out with you or something. Mm-hmm. And
he
didn't
actually
say
said,
that.
"I'll do really well in the challenges." Like he's a fireman.
He said, yeah, he was fine. But she said something like, I don't get out much, and I'm really creative, and I really want a new friend group. I just felt like that was a real like
It was.
grab my arm, please.
I just think everyone felt terrible, but they were like, "We've gotten rid of 2 men, and we need strength for the challenges, and he's a fireman." And I don't know.
But you don't need strength for the challenges necessarily.
Well, did you see them lugging those big barrels around? Like, you do need
okay.
strength in the challenges.
some of
Like,
them.
that's the thing. And like, he comes in then, so he's got the shield, so he gets to choose to give it to anyone, and that means they can't be murdered, so it's like the best thing to have. And also he, thank God for him, gets to sit at the round table and not have to vote for anyone that
Yeah.
night, because could you imagine walking into that, because it's already like so het up after only 2 days.
Plus, he wouldn't know anyone. He doesn't know a soul, so he needs a day
well,
to
he does,
learn them
because
all.
they all sat with their arms around him like kumbaya, like in the living room, like.
That was pretty funny.
That was
the two,
so funny.
The two women on the front of him with their
Oh my
hands
God,
under
I
their chin,
loved it.
looking up at him.
And this is where I loved the woman from Cork, who we actually
Christine.
she was so
She's funny.
fun. We actually haven't like seen too much of her before this, and she was just great crack. Like, she's just like a total fun Cork woman that you'd like go out for a
So
drink
they're
with.
both from Cork, so she naturally expects
Yeah.
he's going to give her the shield to her. But not only that, I love it in the car back. She's basically like tells all the other girls
And he's hot.
he's hot, and and I hope his wife's not watching, or that he doesn't have a wife, but I'm going to find out. Basically, she was going
It was so
she was going
fun.
up to 90 talking about him.
And everyone was laughing, and it was just like good crack. And then he didn't even oh my God, I've just seen you're right, Paddy is from Limerick. He didn't even.
Thank you, vindication.
Why didn't he give the Cork one? I was so confused. Why did he give Caitlin the shield? He said, "You look after me, I look after you."
Yeah, I didn't understand that. Please write in thecinemail@gmail.com.
Oh no, but wait,
or
Andrew
@thecinema.
does live in Cork, the son. They actually live in different counties.
Oh, okay,
so we were
okay.
both right.
Okay.
Who knew that parents could
But he
live
said
in
he was
different
from Cork.
counties?
I swear in the first episode he said I lied about being from Cork.
I don't know.
He's-
Maybe
I swear
Is
he did.
Oh, because he's probably from Limerick but lives in Cork.
Yeah,
anyway,
maybe.
sorry, this is the most Cork conversation.
This is really
now.
boring.
But anyway, he didn't give it to her. He gave it to Caitlin, which is like thrilling for a traitor to get shield.
Brilliant. I thought Caitlin was the star of
Yeah,
episode
Caitlin
3.
did very well here.
She is a smart
She's
traitor.
smart.
I think she's going to go far.
Well, she said to
I
the
think
two girls then.
Paddy and Eamon are not long for this
Paddy,
world.
yeah, like she said to 2 of the girls, "I have the shield," which is very clever of her, because then later on, if went like towards the end, if she's still left and people will go, "Well, how are you still here? You must be a traitor." She can go, "Well, no, I had the shield."
Plus, you can spin the narrative the next day where you're like, thank God I survived. Having a shield makes you look like a faithful.
It makes you look so innocent, yeah. Even though John just gave it to her, 'cause she was like nice and made him a cup of tea or something. Because he didn't like, he was like he was so bemused and nice.
Were
about
they in
whole
the
thing.
same car or something? I needed a bit more context,
needed
as to
context
why
too.
he gave her the shield.
But yeah, anyway, when they meet up at the round tower, I love when her and Paddy are just like. Oh wait, we haven't discussed the banishment. Sorry, I've skipped ahead.
Scroll
Onto
back.
the banishment.
Round table, right? So you get Michelle kicks off this one,
Mm-hmm.
right? She's the sports leader who has been spinning
crazy.
a wild narrative this whole episode.
This was-
So as soon as she discovers that Niall's gone at breakfast, she's turning to, I think, Vanessa, and she's like straight up, this makes complete sense. Let me explain to you. See, the traitors have looked at me and they've said, she's very close with Niall, so I'm going to separate them, divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Because it's a targeted attack at me, Michelle, who they haven't mentioned once. Because everyone thinks that everything's about them, I guess, and Michelle is in her own head here.
Oh,
and
like,
so
and
she
also
thinks
because
it's
she
completely
thinks
targeted.
because she thinks the traitor is the pink-haired one.
So then she comes at the round table, goes right after Nina, which is fair enough because Nina, said that mean comment in the previous episode.
But A, Nina had actually apologized quite
Yeah.
fairly, and B, again, it's like letting the cart lead the horse or whatever, because you think it's Nina and Nina doesn't like you. You've invented this wild fucking thing about
So
Niall
crazy.
instead of being like, okay, but who do I actually think? Like, did they? And that's where they have been clever with the kills, because they've killed people they've no vendetta against, so you can't pin it on anyone.
Yeah.
So like they're sitting in this house all day, they've nothing to do. Like, you'd kind of invent mad shit.
You're just in your own head.
And also she's like, Niall's the only one I trusted. It's like, girl, you were there 2
Plus,
days.
Don't forget, they get back to wherever they're staying at the end of the night,
Mm-hmm.
right? They'll have no phones, internet access, none of that will be allowed.
Yeah.
So they're literally just in their own heads thinking about, look, everything that's happened. She's there inventing crazy stories in her head.
I love when she brought this up, because everyone around the table was like, huh?
Huh?
And then they
It's
were all like, they all started to go, yeah, that makes sense. It's like, maybe it is
didn't
Nina.
make any sense. Like
Nina has it in for you.
So her theory was that Nina has it in for you, and so she got rid of Niall to isolate you.
And she also was like, Nina, you said this about me yesterday and that. And like, Nina was just like, I felt for Nina, because I think when you're there and you're on the round table and when you feel the tide turning on you, you have to just go like, well, fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
what could she say? Like,
I felt really bad
Yeah.
for her. She just gave up. She said, look, what am I going to do?
yeah, I
Like,
felt really bad for her too.
She could tell. Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like, oh, just because I like crack jokes and act a certain way, people like misread me. And I am also, I
I
felt so
don't
bad for
think
her.
I heard her say that too. That's not. That's a lack of self-awareness. That's not why people are coming at
They
you.
were coming at you because
you have pink hair and
you've
crack
named
jokes.
like 10 people's
Yeah,
names.
that's why. Because you come in hot.
Yeah.
And you're bossy and you're saying mean things to people. And yes, you do the right things by apologizing, but it's your forceful personality that was rubbing people up the wrong way. Now,
And I think it's just because, like, I don't like the word bossy around women, just because no one ever uses the word bossy for men. But I think she just came in too hot. That's all it was.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. But
And
I had a lot of empathy for Nina in this episode. We had Eamon. Eamon's great at the round table. Like, he's just stirring the pot.
But then I didn't like when why did he just suddenly start coming for
Oyen, yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote this
I
down.
didn't like that.
I think I didn't like this either. He's targeting introverts because
He's
that
trying to
seems to
say-
be, you haven't said anything, you haven't brought anything to the table.
And I don't have a problem with that as a tactic, but I think for him, when everyone's so clearly coming for Nina, and like, God help her, but she was already out the door.
Just pile on that.
Yeah, why?
Yeah,
don't even pile on. Just say, look, I'm torn today. I'm so sorry, Nina. Like, there's a way of doing it, like, where you can keep your head down and just go with the flow and not like randomly pick on Oyen, who's just sitting there being a lovely sweetheart.
He's flying too close to the sun as
Mm-hmm.
a traitor. The best traitors, like Caitlin, who I think is the best traitor.
She's the best traitor.
so far. They speak just when right. You first of all, if you're a traitor at the round table, you see where the tide is turning.
Mm-hmm.
You're clearly moving towards Nina. You only then provide something which seems to reinforce that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's actually Nina said something the other day. Like, you just have to remember some small thing which seems to contribute to the wave of evidence. That's it.
I just
and
didn't
then,
like
and
him.
then it looks like you're contributing.
I didn't enjoy him on Oyen, but I think I do think he defended himself well though, and I do still think Paddy defended himself well too, because I think Eamon just was good at defending himself, but I think Paddy's just so charming that, like, even when he makes jokes, like, everyone laughs, like, everyone just really likes him.
He's very likable.
He's so charming and nice, and like, and you can kind of see he's like, well, what am I going to say? Like, I don't think it's anyone, so like, I'm not gonna, you know. And it's just like a sound.
Yeah, Vanessa came at Paddy, right?
Yeah, but she's right though. Vanessa's
yeah.
really smart.
Yeah,
So
she
Vanessa's like, it's you, Paddy, and he's like,
Also, I didn't get. We forgot to talk about it, but I didn't get why everybody. And I saw a bit of online commentary about this as well. Everybody seemed to be a bit like, oh, your tears were a bit much about Vanessa crying at the end of Ep 2 for sending Diane home. I thought that felt very, very understandable, very authentic.
I felt that too, and like particularly because in episode 2, like Diane had come like fairly heavy at her, so they had a bit of a confrontation, which was like kind of the first, like, you know, it would be very unpleasant to be part of.
And then there's a cathartic feeling after that when it's all over and you made a mistake.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
I would have cried too.
And some people are more prone to
people
crying
don't-
in stressful situations.
I think, but the problem is that like
People think it's performative.
They don't know each other.
Yeah, of course.
So if someone just bursts into tears next to you, and if you're not feeling how they feel, it can feel performative. But like, yeah, I think she's really smart. And I think I love how she put Paddy down. And I think she's on the chopping block now, isn't she? I hope they don't get rid of her. I like her.
Yeah, we have... No, it's not. It's Christine, Michelle, or Faye tonight.
Right, okay. Yeah, and interestingly, the doctor is the only one spotting about Christine, about
She's a gas character. That
she's
Linda,
like,
the doctor.
She's like
David
she's,
did.
Yeah, Linda's great, but she spotted that like Christine. She reckons it's Christine. She's the only one.
Caitlin, you mean?
Sorry, Caitlin, the traitor. God,
She
there's
spotted
too many
Caitlin.
of them.
Yeah.
She spotted Caitlin a
She's-
few times.
Yeah.
So she's the only one thinking about Caitlin.
She's
So-
a dark horse, I think, Linda. I think
Yeah.
Linda's going to emerge as a good
I
power
mean, she's
player.
obviously really smart. She's like a 24-year-old doctor.
Yeah.
But she's just like keeping her cards close to her
And
chest.
I agree, Linda and Vanessa, two to watch.
Yeah, because we want to do this every week now, because as we said, the dynamics will shift so much every week. So right now we have to say, who's our favorite?
No, you've missed... Sorry, Kathy. You don't have the notes in front of you.
I don't
You
have
missed the biggest thing of the round table, which is Caitlin calling out Paddy. Traitor on traitor.
Oh my god, traitor on
action,
traitor
right?
action. Sorry.
Which is when this show is at its best.
Oh my God.
When when the drama of the round table seeps into the basement of the clock tower, or whatever it is.
Traitor on traitor action is the only kind I want to watch.
So Caitlin could not let this go that Paddy brought her name up. So she brings it up at the round table.
Yeah.
And he is caught on the hop.
He's
in
just
a
like,
lie.
fuck's
Has to
sake.
invent a lie. She, as a fellow trader, doesn't. She had a choice here. She could have validated his lie and said, "Oh yeah, you did say that," but she's pissed off.
But she was caught on the hop as well, like
She's
that
also
morning.
she feels betrayed, right? So the traders are fine when they're working as a unit, but when you find out that a fellow trader has been talking behind her back, she doesn't know the context of the father-son relationship.
She has
so
no
as far
idea.
as she knows, Paddy's just out there stirring shit
Yeah,
about
exactly.
her.
Yeah.
So she feels I think she was right to go on the attack here.
She was right. It was just such a series of unfortunate events. And like earlier on, she had been like, if anyone would have heard me saying it, it would have been Joanna, because I'm always with Joanna. And my question was, who is Joanna?
Sorry,
Look at
who
this
is
woman.
Joanna? Oh, Joanna is the woman who caught Wilkin in the Dave Was isn't. She's had a little bit of screen
But like,
time, but
there's
not
a
a
few
whole
of them
lot.
like that where when
Yeah.
they show up and they're mentioned, you're like, wait, what? Now, like, there's obviously too many of them, and we'll get to know them more. But it's because there's 24 of them to start. Yeah, the trader. But like, in fairness, like, they never got as heated though as the other two, who were genuinely cross at each other.
No, but if I was at that round table looking at those two, you're like, it's clear one of them is lying. And that's when you'd be like,
I'd be suspecting
and
traitors.
Caitlin said it herself on the way out. She said he's gonna get us both out.
Yeah.
Because it looks like two traitors having a dispute.
Yeah, and it's like, I wonder if they watch the US Traitors, or do they all just watch the UK one? Because the US Traitor v Traitor stuff last season was so...
The way it played out
Wild.
was exactly like this.
Yeah, though this was much like...
Oh, it's
calmer.
tamer, sure. But
And Paddy grabs her straight away in the hall, and she's like, you shouldn't have grabbed me. And I was thinking, well, no, because...
it just looked like he was apologizing.
It just looked like he's apologizing.
Yeah.
And look, he could just be like, I think he mounted a decent enough offense where he said it was in the kitchen, there was other people around, and then like, if they knew each other better and had a better relationship, and if she trusted him, which she doesn't, and she could have said, oh, maybe I said the name, but But you could just, I was totally with her, like, because she's no context. She's like, what are you doing?
That was it. That's it. Oh, I agree. And this is it. That's an interesting distinction, which the Irish show has, which I don't think I've seen in other shows, where everyone wants to diffuse the tension and be friends afterwards. So there was a lot of apologies right after.
Everyone's like, I'm so Irish.
Apologizing for nothing really, just playing the game.
But Irish people apologize for existing on the street.
It's true.
Like Irish people walk down the
so
streets.
sorry.
Yes. Oh, geez, sorry, very sorry.
So like Linda went over to Oyen. Linda had jumped on Oyen as well.
Yeah.
And she was like, look, I just want to say I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like,
but again, this is what makes me laugh so much, because for all she knows, Oyen is the traitor. Like,
I know, yeah.
As soon as they voted for someone and that person didn't A, get eliminated, and B, get proven to be traitor.
When the Wicklow estate agent, what's his name? When he says then afterwards on camera, he's going to regret that. As far as I know now, Eamon is 100% faithful. He's sound. He proved that he's like, no, he didn't.
Unless you A, everyone votes for them, and B, they leave and say I'm a traitor.
Yeah.
Like,
he'll be kicking himself later when he finds out.
So fun. Right.
I think that was about it. So
that
then they go to the catacombs or whatever. It got very awkward. I think Eamon and Caitlin both kind of like.
Yeah, but Eamon is rolling his eyes, and I was a bit like, well, mate, yesterday you fucked up in the living room.
Yeah, that's
true.
Yeah.
Caitlin's the only one who's kept her cool so far here.
But Eamon hates when people don't contribute anything, because what did he say earlier? He said people that aren't saying anything are dangerous. So he didn't like that Paddy wasn't. It was kind of he was right when he said to Paddy, "Come on, Paddy, the only name you've thrown out in this entire game is Caitlin."
That's why he said, "I've been throwing everyone's name out."
It does look
and
bad.
like if you're throwing everyone's names out, you have to say their names. But if you've named one person and it's your closest colleague,
and it was exciting. I was happy for the three traitors that they had the shield in there. That's great crap.
That was I think that diffused it for them as well. Like, and I do think she doesn't dislike him either. So she doesn't dislike.
No,
Buddy.
I do think everyone's smart enough. They're going to walk away from this, and the emotions will dissipate, and they can all be friends.
Exactly. And to the point of how much it changes every week, we're each going to say who like our current favorite is that we're just enjoying the most, and then also who we think might win, because there are always two different things. And I think we should
several people can win.
Yeah, but who we think who's like a front runner?
Who's going to get to the end?
Yeah, who do we love versus who's a front runner right now?
All right now I think Caitlin's the best traitor. I think Paddy is my favorite person in there.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to get to the end? I think a dark horse is like Linda or Vanessa. You said earlier.
I agree. But unfortunately, I feel like Vanessa has a bit of heat on her now as well. Now I'm just gonna go. So my favorite is probably Paddy as well, just because like he's just I'm just enjoying him. And also Siobhan, because I just love her. I really like Oyen actually. I think she got a lovely way about her. And I felt bad for her at the round table this time.
Yeah, but I don't see Oyen lasting. She's too
nice.
She's a self-declared introvert. She seems very nice, but she's probably, do you know what? She's probably not scheming enough. Yeah.
Like, I think it doesn't matter if you're an introvert, it doesn't matter any of that. If you're willing to, like Linda, to be secretly throwing shade at the camera and plotting.
She's just a bit too much of a wallflower.
Yeah,
Oyen,
but
so far.
It's a good game to play, but it only gets you so far. Wilkin, actually, I think he might be my dark horse.
I like him.
I just feel that he's
very likable.
He deflected quite well when it came at him. He's an engineer, so he's probably smart.
But he presents as there's something reassuring about him.
Yeah, and then I think Linda is going to shine. I think there's going to be a point where Linda, the Doctor, shines, because she's starting to shine now. And I love how the episode ended.
She's slightly odd. I mean, I like her. She's
obviously just really, really smart as well, right?
Yeah.
But the episode ended on the female traitor whose name I just cannot keep in my head, saying, Caitlin, Paddy's time is coming.
Oh, that was good.
Closer than what I might have wished.
So next it's going to be Christine, Michelle, or Faye. They're the three. Who do you think's going to go? Who do you think they murder?
They said it's going to be a big personality, which makes me think.
I think it's Faye.
You think?
Faye's a big personality in there, and Eamon says Faye offers nothing. That's what he said.
Which was brutal, because at the beginning of the episode they were like buddying.
I know.
I don't know. And honestly, I couldn't call it between these three.
It could be Christine.
Christine's got a big personality. Yeah.
Michelle, I don't see them going after her.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's thrilling.
I think it's Faye.
Cannot wait for the next 3 episodes. So we
Yeah,
should be
great
back
stuff.
after episode 6 has aired. In the meantime, let us know what you were thinking of Traitors. Can't wait to hear all the chat about it. Come over to Instagram at The Cinemile or email us thecinemile@gmail.com. And of course, if you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review wherever you listen to podcasts.
And if you like hearing us talk about TV shows, head over to our Patreon, patreon.com/The Cinemile, where we do regular spoiler specials on all sorts of shows. We do monthly spoiler-free roundups of all the stuff we've been watching. We are talking about, what are we talking about? Alien Earth over there.
Yeah, we've just watched Hostage, all of Hostage on Netflix.
The Biggest Loser documentary. Loads of stuff gone on over there. And you get to join our community chat. It's instant chat with us. We're in there every day chatting to all of our hundreds of patrons, and they are all great crack.
Sending us the best TV and movie recommendations.
Yes. So see you there.
Bye.
Bye.